Hello everyone, in this video let us try to understand how to create a data access layer with the help of Entity Framework. File, New Project, and this time I'm going to select Class Library and I'll name it as Data Access Layer, and I'll just remove this class as it is not required. I'll right click and say add new item. Data, I'm going to add ADO.NET Entity Data Model. I'll name it as my org model. Say add. I'm generating it from database. Same, I'm trying to connect to MyOrgDB, Entity Framework 6, and I'm gonna take department table and employee table. I'll say finish. Now I'll rebuild this. It should generate a DLL. Now my data access layer is ready. Now I need to add this DLL or my data access layer in my UI. Say I'm gonna add a new project. This time I'm going to add a console application as my console UI, and I'm going to store it in this. Say OK. So I get console UI. Now I need to add this DLL to my console UI. So how do I do that? I'll just right click on references. I'll say add reference, solution. From solution I'm going to add DAL. Say OK. So this is the first step that we have done. Now there are three more things that I need to do. Those are nothing but copying the connection string. Now in DAL app config file I have the connection string. I need to copy this and I need to paste it in my UI app.config or web.config, whatever I have. Now two more steps are nothing but adding the references. That is nothing but Entity Framework and Entity Framework.SQL Server. In our earlier versions of Entity Framework, we were adding only Entity Framework reference, and Entity Framework.SQL Server was embedded in Entity Framework DLL itself, or both of them have wrapped together. But now in the latest version we are having two separate DLLs. So I need to browse these DLLs. I need to add these references in my project. So I can do one thing. I'll simply open the folder because these are the DLLs that I may need. So I'll just right click and I'll create a new folder. I'll name it as any common folders that I require. I'll add it here. So I go to DAL debug and I'll copy Entity Framework and Entity Framework.SQL Server DLLs and I'll paste it in common folder. Now these are the DLLs which are common and I might be using in various projects of my solution. Now I need to add these two references which I have copied, or the DLLs that I have copied in the common folder. So in my UI, so I'll just right click, say add references, and I'm gonna browse that. From common I'll simply add references, say OK. So now I got the references. Now let me rebuild this. Now I'll simply say using data access layer. Now I can create the object of my org entities, OE equals to new. Now I can get the records. Employees equals to OE dot employees dot to list. Let me put a breakpoint and set this as startup project. Now as you can see that this is my UI and this is my data access layer, and execute this. and I get the list of employees. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much.